Hello everybody, today we're going to correct the remaining exercises of folder 5 and also have a look at some new grammar items which are actually part of folder 5. We're first going to have a look at exercise 2.2 which you prepared last week and we're going to focus on that exercise as it will lead up to some grammar on the next page. I'm going to focus on on sentence C of exercise 2.2, which is actually a good example of what I want to explain to you. Let's first have a look at the sentence. Hayes had taken numerous fantastic pictures with his smartphone when he realized that his telephone was a great photographic tool. What you had to do in these exercises was determine which is the first action and the second action. Now, it's not very difficult. They're printed in bold. And you then had to tell me what was the subject of the first action and the verb of the first action, what was the subject and the verb of the second action. If you have a look at this sentence, the subject is Hayes and the first verb is had taken. Second part of the sentence, the subject is he and the second verb is realized. You then had to tell me what happened first. If you have a look at this sentence, it is action 1 that actually happened first. Hayes had taken a lot of pictures with his smartphone before he understood the full potential of the smartphone as a camera, before he realized that his telephone was a great photographic tool. Now, if you have a look at the verbs which are used in these sentence parts, you may have noticed something strange. Instead of using two past simple forms for both the actions, we use what is called the past perfect tense for action number 1. Now, if you were to draw this on a timeline, then you would see that this action is the one that takes place first, the one that takes place the farthest in the past. This is the action that happens before the other action. When that is the case, when you have two past actions in your sentence, we use the past perfect tense, which you see here, had taken, to describe the action that happens first, to describe the action that happens before the other action. Second action, the one that is closest to the present, simply gets the past simple that you already know. Let's now have a look at the blue grid on the next page and fill that in. Okay, let's start by focusing on the form. He had taken a lot of pictures with his smartphone. I hadn't asked her before. The full form is I had not asked her before. Had you ever used your smartphone to take pictures? Who had she talked to? We form this tense, the past perfect simple tense, by had plus the past participle. Now, what is most important is when we use this tense. We use it to talk about an action in the past that happened before another action in the past. So in other words, we have two actions in the past, and the one that lies in the past the most, the one that happens before the other action, gets the past perfect tense, which you can see here. The other one gets the past simple. So if you have a look here, action 1 and action 2. Action 1 gets the past perfect. Action 2 gets the past simple. Okay. Action 1 and action 2 are both completely over at the time of speaking. Action 1 happened before action 2, and that is why it gets the past perfect simple tense. Okay, let's pause here for a second and return to the previous page, page 203. Let's have another look at exercise 2.3. Okay. Exercise 2.3 was not an exercise that you had already prepared last time, so let's have a look at that together. Events in the recent history of photography still matter today and have an impact on present-day life. Let's have a look. Sentence A. It's a clear signal that today's smartphones have changed the way we take pictures. In other words, we have an action in the past that has a clear result in the present. The action in the past is, of course, the invention of smartphones. The result in the present is that now we have a new way of taking pictures because it is so easy with our smartphones. Let's have a look at the second sentence. Smartphones have made photography more accessible. Action in the past is the invention of the smartphone. Result in the present is that nowadays more people have access to photography. It is very easy and everyone can use their phone to take pictures. So in other words, photography has become more accessible. And the last sentence, in just 16 years, we've gone from 80 billion film photos taken in a year to 1.5 trillion smartphone photos shared. Action in the past is the invention of the smartphone. The result in the present is that we now share 1.5 trillion smartphone pictures every year. So in all of those three sentences, you can see that one action in the past, one event from the past, has a clear result in the present. We already had a look at the tense that you need to use then. That is the present perfect tense, which you can see here in these pictures. Sentences. Smartphones have made photography accessible. We have gone from 80 billion photos to 1.5 trillion. Smartphones have changed the way we take pictures. Let's also have a look at the blue grid on the next page and see what we need to do with that. Okay, what we see here on the next page on the left-hand side, the present perfect simple, is not new. This is not a new tense. This is nothing that I haven't told you already. Okay, let's just review this. Let's have another quick look at it. Let's first look at the examples for the formation of the present perfect simple. Smartphones have made photography accessible. The life of a photographer has not become easier. So a negative sentence. Has photography changed? Inversion question. What has photography changed in our way of life? Question mark question. We form the present perfect simple tense by have or has for the third person, plus the past participle. And when we use it then, that is more important. We use the present perfect simple tense to talk about an action in the past that started, so the action itself started in the past, but the action either lasts up until now or it has a clear result in the present. So there is always a link with the present. Either the action has just ended or it is still going on, or there is a result of a past action in the present. When that is the case, we have to use the present perfect tense and not the past simple tense. So if you have a look here at the timeline, past and present, we have an action in the past, but it has a clear link with the present. So it's not an action that is completely over, an action that is completely in the past without a present link. No, there is a link with the present. Could be the result of the action, could be that the action is still going on, could be that the action has just stopped. What can also help you is to have a look at some of the time markers, like for example this week, this month, this year. If you see those type of time markers, you have to remember to use the present perfect tense. Today, all week, already, ever, never, yet, just. These are typical time markers that go with the present perfect tense. You have to keep that in mind. Let's stop here for a second then. Let's look at page 205. In exercise 2.4, we have to make correct sentences using the present perfect tense. Now, this shouldn't be very difficult as we have already looked at this together in the past. I'll give you a few minutes to prepare. You just pause the video and when you have prepared the exercise, you turn it back on and then we'll have a look at the solution. Okay. So you pause the video now, you prepare it, and then I'll show you the solution. Have a look at the solution. The first sentence, has Jack paid for his camera? It's a question. I have never seen such a cool selfie. Keep in mind that words like ever and never always go before the full verb. I haven't taken pictures for the school's Facebook page. This month. This month is also a clear indication of the present tense. Has the newspaper printed the article? The photographer has made a portrait of Donald Trump every day for the past 6 months. Good. In the next exercise, we have to put the verb in the past simple or the past perfect simple. This is an exercise on what I told you last time. The difference between the past simple and the past perfect simple is that the past perfect simple is used for the action that comes first. Okay, so like I explained to you earlier. So have a look, prepare the exercise, pause the video, and then we'll just look at the solution in a second. Okay, so now you have a look at the solution. When the photographer came home from a long assignment, the children had painted the house. So in other words, the children painting the house is the action which takes place first. So that comes in the past perfect. Before he took his flight in Beijing, he had telephoned home. So him telephoning home happens first, comes in the past perfect. His wife and children had wanted to surprise him, so they came up with a plan. Had wanted and came up, had wanted happens first. They knew that purple was their father's favorite color, so they ordered liters and liters of purple paint. Before they painted the dots, they had already painted the house purple to let the paint dry. Had already painted happens first in the past perfect tense. Okay? So keep this in mind when you're telling a story. Actions that happen before other past actions always come in the past